Now, in a matchup of two previously undefeated teams, one did not come out successful right now with the pity touchdown, which saved a 42-0 blowout for Colorado. They ended up losing the game 42-6 against Oregon. And you know what? Actually, now that I sat here and just think about this, you know who you are because you tweet me every show. Go back and retweet that when I said Oregon would win by 2 scores, and he tagged Deion and Deion Jr. like he doesn't believe yet. I'm not even trying to take a victory lap. I just remembered that. The guy's
take your victory lap.
No. Hold on. He's a Cincinnati fan. He tweets me all the time about Joe Burrow. You know who you are listening to my voice. But no, Dan Lanning was talking crazy prior to this game and then went out and backed it up. And again, this is what college football is about. Jay Norvell going in there saying, hey, my mama taught me to take my hat and sunglasses off. Dan Lanning earlier today going, hey, we win. They don't win games on YouTube. Did you see this pregame speech to Colorado?
We play for wins. They play for
They
likes.
play for clicks. We play for wins.
They play for clicks and likes.
We're not playing this game in Hollywood. We're playing it on the grass. Now, I was curious to see what would happen when Colorado eventually lost. Because I told you I thought this was probably a 6-7 win team at the start of the year and pretty much held true to that, which is a major success. I'm not saying that for any reason that, there were 21-point underdogs today and a 21-point favorite showed out like a 21-point favorite is supposed to. Let's hear Dan Lanning real quick.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
So that was pregame, and I mean, Oregon came out, VJ, with a mission. They went for 2 on the second and third touchdowns that they scored. They went for 2, attempted 2-point conversions. Faked a punt up 13 on their own 17-yard line. All right, they wanted to blow Colorado out, and I was waiting for this moment, not because I wanted to take a victory lap, not because I wanted to cheer against Deion or anything like that, but some of the talking and the way that Deion Sanders was talking, it's a lot easier to do after a win than it is to do after a loss. Here's Deion after the loss.
It's good old-fashioned butt kicking. There's no excuses, no nothing. Their coaches did a heck of a job preparing their team. Obviously, we didn't. That was good. I mean, that was a really good old-fashioned butt kicking.
I love that out of Deion Sanders.
Of course.
He didn't shy away from it. He did, you know what? Didn't take his hat or glasses off either, right? If you're going to walk in there and talk big and bad, when you get your ass kicked, like today was an ass kicking, go in there and say, look, we got our ass kicked. We'll be better next week. That's all you can do, and that's all that he did. I appreciated that out of a loss in Deion Sanders, and I'll tell you this. I know today was not the outcome that Colorado wanted, but today showed me something out of that team because Deion also said, get at us now because this is the worst we going to be.
Yep.
I feel that 100%, and I think that's why Dan Lanning was out there going for 2, trying to run up the score, which, again, have no problem with, all right? Because when Dan Lanning is going to recruit kids in this summer, he can sit back and be like, you want to go to Colorado? We just beat them by almost 50.
Yep.
Now, Deion will be like, look, you come to Colorado and we'll do all the, we've covered that. But Dan Lanning's got to go recruit too. I love what I saw today, both out of the Oregon program and out of Deion Sanders in the loss.
I'm not even mad at how you just kind of rephrased all of that because I actually agree with just about all of it except for one thing. Number one, let's give props to Oregon. Let's give props to Bo Nix, who I talked about earlier this year as being a possible Heisman candidate because he was a veteran quarterback. He had his 51st start today. Like, he started 51 college games.
Insanity.
And it's his career. That's a lot of college. Yeah, that's a lot of – that's not a normal college quarterback career. So props to Oregon, props to the coach. I didn't mind the pregame. I'm always stand on how I talk and what I say and being bashful or being boastful sometimes and throwing my opinions out there. So when I see somebody do it, I can't hate on it. He's doing what he had to do. You got to use whatever's out there to use, whatever's clickbait, whatever's bulletin board material, you use it, whether it's against the guy you're going for or going for the guy that you're going for. But the problem I did have with after they lost the game, and this is where I disagree with Martin a little bit, this feels almost to me like people were sitting and waiting for Deion and Colorado to lose. They weren't supportive of them. Actually, I think 8, you think 6 wins. I think 8 or more. 8 wins or more is what I think they'll end up with this year. My on the board is still alive for. They will either beat Utah. We saw what they look like against UCLA at home today. If not for the defense to get 7 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, and 2 takeaways.
Dante Moore had a pick 6 on the first play of the game.
I was about to say, first play of the game, quarterback throws a pick 6. So there's one of your touchdowns right there. This is also a Utah team that struggled and had to come back from late behind to beat Baylor and Baylor. So there's a game I think they can get that's not until November 25th. That's way down the road. Why? The reason why I say what I'm saying is because one thing I can't stand is a hater, but what's even worse is a closet hater. If you're going to hate. If you're going to dislike out loud, dislike out front. I much rather deal with the devil that I know than the devil that I don't. And I saw way too much this week. If you guys are tired of Deion, wait until such and such. Or, yeah, man, they haven't they've looked good, but there's always been this but. Wait till they run up against a good team. We already know he had to flip over 59 players. We already know they were 1-11. We already know they probably should have lost last week, but guess what? They didn't, because Shadir took the ball from the 2-yard line, went 98 yards, 7 plays, and I think in 97 seconds, and scored a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be variables, but what I didn't like what I saw today is I saw people kind of waiting for Deion to lose, and these undertone tweets, these undertone comments people are making. Well, when you talk trash, you gotta walk. What trash has they been talking? They just been saying, we come to do our job. We here to stay. What do you want them to say? Oh, well, it's gonna take time to build. It's gonna take time for us to get our guys in here. Yeah, all that BS excuse that the media and people in radio and TV use to cover up mistakes for other coaches that can't get their programs together. And I love the way Deion said, you better get us now. Reminds me when Harbaugh went to Michigan. You'll be very familiar with this, Martin. When Harbaugh went to Michigan, they were waiting for him to lose. They were waiting for him to fail instead of, hey, man, look, he did this at San Diego, University of San Diego, went to the Niners and got up to the Super Bowl, 4 conference championship games. And look, he's at Michigan. He's going to turn us around. They wait till they play somebody else. And it reminded me of the game I referenced with you plenty of times before, the Saturday night game. I call it the Saquon Barkley game because he ran crazy over Michigan. Joel Klatt, our great colleague here at Fox Sports 1, went on Colin and said he couldn't believe the amount of text messages that he was getting from people in the media and other coaching programs that they were happy to see Harbaugh losing. But no, we're not mad at Harbaugh. We don't dislike Harbaugh. He's good for college. Yeah, you talk all that crap until it happens. I saw too much of that today, and it makes me pull for Colorado even more because I'm on the boat. But hats to Oregon. You did what you're supposed to do. Even when I saw them trying to run up the score, hey, I'm a run up the score guy. If you don't want me to score, stop me. So I agree with you, bro. I loved everything that happened in this game. Colorado, and you said this 2 weeks ago, you're right. They're not ready up front. On either side of the ball. They're just not ready to compete with some of these guys up front. But we all know that, though. We knew that going into the season, Martin. They're great in the skill position. They're great on the perimeter. But you tell me how much time did Shadir Sanders have today? He is running for his life all day long. Like Deion said, you better get him now, because once he starts to recruit the linemen he needs to keep his quarterback safe so they can actually operate their offense against anybody in America, look out. But props to Oregon for doing what they were supposed to do. This is a team that has not just Pac-12 championship aspirations, Martin. They have college football playoff aspirations this year. So this is a team that is good. They showed a lot of speed. They got weapons, man. Goodness gracious. Every time I looked up, Bo Nix is just throwing to another different receiver, and they were killing the corners today. No excuse for Travis Hunter not being there. Listen, if you're not there, you're just not there.
Well,
but
you can make excuses for Travis Hunter not being there. It's just you're not making, 35 points worth of excuses?
He's not going to cover 42-7, but their receivers, man, Oregon's receivers just had a field day against the Colorado corners today. But props to Oregon and props to Deion, Coach Prime, for taking it on the chin like a man, like you're supposed to. And no excuses. Let's move on.
Deion Sanders, on the absence of two-way star Travis Hunter, said, quote, "It's like you're writing an article and your pen is missing." Deion Sanders to those who say that Colorado needed a humbling. Quote, "That's not something we needed. That's like saying we needed a car wreck. That's like saying you needed that. That's stupid." I just was fascinated to see what was going to happen when Colorado eventually lost, right? Because the whole the walk is different. The talk is different. If you can come in, I mean,
you think it will be? I think it'll be the same walk-in talk.
No. I'm saying the post-game press conference.
Oh, of course.
After we saw, week 1 came in. Do you believe now? Week 2, more of the same. Week 3, hey, that was a tough-fought, hard-fought game. Now week 4, hey, we got our asses kicked. All of those vibe for me. Yeah, all 4 of those post-game responses, I'm in with. Okay. I'm in for. And I just really think what we saw today is, again, a moment in which you see that the establishment in college football, a school like Oregon, right, who has a head coach, Dan Lanning, who's early in his Oregon tenure, but came from Georgia, came from the establishment of college football, came in and was like, hey, we're going to win this, quote unquote, in the old school way. We're going to win this on the field. This game isn't being played in Hollywood. This game is being played on grass. And sure enough, when they got on grass, Oregon talked with their pads, right? It's just all of that, to me, all of that from the going for 2, all of that was so he could go into the living room of little Johnny, who's a senior in California right now, deciding whether or not he wants to go to Colorado or any of the other power schools, and he can sit up and be like, "Look, we just housed that team."
But you know why that means nothing? I saw people tweeting that. Trust me, I saw people tweeting that. Shout out to my man Aaron Torres. Aaron tweeted it, and I just said, "What?" with a bunch of laughing emojis. You know why he was able to do that today and he can get away with it? Where does Colorado go next year? Big 12.
Sure.
Where's Oregon going next year? The Big 10. They won't play again. So you can run your mouth. You can run your mouth and get that out today and get this. They have better guys right now, and he knows that. Deion knows that. Deion knew they probably had better guys. But hey, I got my team prepared. We did what we need to do. We're gonna go play a football game. We're gonna go play the damn game. But I don't have the line they have. I don't have the defensive line they have. But we got to go out here and try to win this game today. But when you're sitting on Oregon sideline, you can, talk that mess. That, hey, they're winning for clicks and we're doing it because you ain't got it. The chance of them playing again, they have to sign some type of interconference contract to play a home and home or a bowl game.
I think
so. You get away with that today.
And this is too close for the end of the break. Sorry to drop this bomb on you, but I think conference realignment will make it so we are seeing more of these matchups instead of less.
I'm just saying because they're going to separate conferences.
I know.
I'm saying.
I get you, but I think what will end up happening is now in your preseason,
like
in your quote unquote preseason games.
Okay.
Because now you'll see because now you got to winning your conference is no longer an automatic.
Labor Day weekend, Labor Day night, one of those games.
It used to be winning your conference was an automatic. Now we see Texas and Alabama playing in the second week of the year. I think we'll see more of those type matchups as the SEC and the Big 10 and the Big 12 grow.
Oregon, Georgia last year.
You got it. Finishing third in your conference, but hey, we beat Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Oregon.
Yeah, and in September. Yeah, I feel you.
I think that'll be something that we see in play. I think we'll see more of these matchups instead of less.